Hey everybody, Kyle here. I'm really not a fan of art that is nothing more than a footnote to some sort of essay or statement. I believe that the art object should be the main focus. So I don't base my art practice around some sort of central thesis where the creation of the artworks is a way of proving that conceptual thesis. It's more like I like to saturate my mind with stuff and then I'll make art. Making art takes a lot of time, so while that's happening, all the stuff I'm reading and focusing on just kind of, works its way through my head. Usually a central theme or idea or concern will naturally emerge, and then as I'm doing that, I will take some of these ideas that have emerged and kind of work them back into the painting somehow. One of the themes that I started with, but I've kind of abandoned, the discussions around culture, that it feels like the center is clearing out and everyone is moving towards the fringes or the edges. Now, this is an idea that is very easy to translate into a painting. I just kind of keep the center more cleared out and have more content move towards the outside edges. And that was kind of one of the main thoughts I had when I was starting. A lot of that center is filled in. And that's because of another rule I have, is that whenever you come into a conflict between your concept and aesthetics, aesthetics should always win, because 1,000 years from now, nobody's going to care about whatever social conditions and pet issues were, a big deal now. It's going to seem quaint and obsolete to them. But the art object itself, that's what matters, and it shouldn't be made less good forever, just so it can slightly more strongly apply to right now. I'm really wandering and meandering a lot more with this series than I have with any other series in the past. In this particular series, what I'm looking for in my thumbnails are images where if you were to overly simplify it, it's almost a geometric abstraction. This piece, yeah, there's a lot of crazy crap going on, but if you were to think of it, it's just kind of like a big block here, a fair bit of nothing here, another object here, It's still a lot of complexity and a lot of noise and a lot going on, but if you were to sort of step back and squint your eyes, I want these paintings to have more definite shapes than work in the past. There's no real concept behind that, it's just a technical challenge I set out for myself. Normally when I'm going through sketches, one of the things I'll look for is, I don't think I'm able to paint that, that's way too hard. So that's what I go for. It's almost like challenge accepted. With this series, it's more going through sketches. I guess I'm really focusing on compositions that are really powerful as a tiny thumbnail, which tends to be those more simpler geometric things, because I do really like that play of when you lean in, there's so much complexity, there's so much going on, you can look at it for hours, but I also like it when you can kind of step back and there is an overall structure to it. So that's a boring technical thing I'm doing with this series. It's a little different than, I haven't focused that much on that aspect of it in the past. But concept-wise, like my last series had different, it was all based on images taken from social media, so it was kind of other people's reactions to one particular space, rather than my own reaction to many spaces. This series, I've resumed using my own content instead of taking other stuff from social media. I like the shots I take more. It works better for what I do. I have some wide-angle lenses that are so far wide they're less common than what you'll generally find on photo sharing sites. I guess that's a long, meandering, disconnected way of saying I don't really know what I'm doing with this series. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna get back to painting. Have a good one. Let's hopefully... the show's happening the end of July either way, so, there's going to be an artist statement. You'll find out what I figure out. Chances are I won't have it figured out until an hour before then.